Hi, my name is Jay Oza, and I want to talk about creativity. How do you practice creativity? How do you know whether you are creative? What is one of the best way to find out if you have creativity muscle? I think one of the best way is humor. Humor, in my opinion, is very creative, especially the humor you hear on late night comedy shows, such as Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, Jimmy Kimmel, etc. When they do their monologue, those jokes are very creative. So, what I'm going to do as an experiment is tell you three things that I heard. Then, afterwards, you have to tell me which one do you think was professional and which one was done by me. If you can't tell the difference, then it would indicate that maybe I'm somewhat creative. If you can, then I got some work to do. So here it goes. So let's start with the first example. Now I'm going to have to set this up, otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. So here's what I heard. This took place during the summer of last year, during this US Open golf tournament. If you remember that tournament, or even if you don't, I'll set it up for you. We come down to the last hole. There are two players that have chance to win, Jordan Spieth and Dustin Johnson. Spieth is one shot ahead. This is the final hole, okay? Dustin Johnson is about 250 yards away. He's hit an excellent drive, and this is a par 5 hole, just so you know. And he hits a terrific second shot, and he hits it within, like, pin high, they usually call it, 15 feet to the hole on the green. Here's the situation. If Dustin Johnson makes the eagle putt, he wins the tournament. If he doesn't make the putt, as they typically call in golf, lags it, so he gets it closer but he doesn't make it, and then he makes the next putt because it'll be close by, it goes into playoffs, or the next day they play again, 18 holes. Okay, so at worst he can tie Jordan Spieth. But there is another thing that's going on here. This is the course such that there is a hill. On top of the hill is his wife and his kid. But his wife's father is the famous hockey player named Wayne Gretzky, one of the greatest ice hockey players. So Dustin Johnson is married to Wayne Gretzky's daughter, and they have a son. So the joke is the following. Wayne Gretzky is talking to his grandson and is telling him, "Kid, your pop is definitely going to make that putt because your grandpa can make that blindfolded with his hockey stick." That's the joke. Now, you probably are not going to find it funny because this has happened already. And there is some sadness to this joke. Because as it turned out, Dustin Johnson misses the eagle putt. And he has about comeback putt of about 2 feet, I believe, maybe even less than that. 3 feet, let's say. And guess what happens? He even misses that putt, and he loses the tournament. Tragic loss. One of the worst loss you can ever come across in golf. But it makes for a good humor. You got to capitalize on it. It's topical. It's got that twist. It's got sadness to it, which makes it even more funny. And if you don't use that, your creativity to come up with that, perhaps you don't have the creativity. So that's number one example. Let's look at number two example. So the setup is the following. Christie is the governor of New Jersey. And a while back there was this scandal where supposedly some mayor did not support him when he was running for re-election, and he got mad and he closed the George Washington Bridge, or he shut down some lanes, and it caused all kinds of traffic jams. And it went on, there was investigation. We don't even know where this is going. We don't know whether this is finished yet or not. It's ongoing. Somebody from his office basically sent an email or a text message saying that we're going to close down the bridge or something like that. Okay, so that is true. That did happen. But that means there is an opportunity to be creative with some humor here. So this is what I heard. Did you hear that Christie closed down the George Washington Bridge again? But this time he did it to save the Wall Street traders from jumping off the bridge, because the stock market has been tanking lately. This is a dark humor, but it's funny, creative, excellent. You may find it funny. I found it funny. Third example. This has to do with Mick Jagger's ex-wife. I don't even know if these days people are married, but they have children, so I consider them married. Her name is Jerry Hall. She was an ex-model, and like I said, she was once married to Mick Jagger, the famous rock star of Rolling Stones, and they have 4 children. But now they're divorced or whatever. And she marries this rich guy named Rupert Murdoch. He is the owner of Fox News and some other properties in Australia. Pretty wealthy guy. So that means there is an opportunity for a joke here somewhere. And here was the joke that I found to be quite funny. And the joke had to do around the time when there was this big Powerball lottery drawing that was going to take place for about $1.5 billion. And the joke is the following. Jerry Hall, the reason Jerry Hall married Rupert Murdoch was she did not want to stand in the line to get the Powerball ticket. That is funny. That is creative. So those are the 3 jokes, 3 humorous examples. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to figure out which one of these I heard on late night comedy shows and which ones I made up. That is your challenge. If you can't tell the difference, then perhaps I may have some creativity here, perhaps. We don't know. You be the judge. If you think all 3 of them I heard, could be. I can't say. I'm not going to give you the answer in the video. You're going to have to look it up in the description section. Then at least I may not have the creativity, but at least I have a good sense of humor. So you go and take a look at it. And if you can't tell, then I have stumped you. And I have shown that anybody can be creative. You just have to try hard. So go and take a look at it and see which one I heard and which one I made up. Thank you.